Meanwhile, Shadow was looking at a huge list of boss locations sent by his recruits. He had coordinates for Emerald and Platinum tier bosses everywhere. He realized this Phantom Dungeon was a goldmine of high-level bosses, and the only reason no one had farmed them yet was because the Thief Saint was keeping everyone from going too deep. But for Shadow, this was the perfect playground. He summoned Osiris, thinking dozens of bosses were exactly what he needed to get to level 30. He planned to get enough experience to go through his 4th class advancement all at once. Down at the Phantom Dungeon entrance, Lu Jianfeng and the bald Shudao Mountain Guild leader were calling Shadow over. Immediately, they started arguing. Lu Jianfeng wanted to go to the 3rd floor because the Shadow Knight dropped great assassin gear, but the bald leader disagreed, saying the 4th floor bone-rotting giant lizard was much better. Lu argued that the giant lizard was a pain to fight, but the bald leader insisted he was just trying to be efficient. Shadow told them both to shut up. He decided they would clear the dungeon floor by floor, and whoever found the boss got to lead. The bald leader immediately bragged about finding the soul-devouring witch, but Lu Jianfeng yelled that they had found it together and it had almost killed them. Lu nervously warned Shadow that this boss's mechanics were very annoying. The system identified the target, a level 20 emerald grade boss, the soul-devouring witch, Ella. The bald leader started explaining her 4 phases, saying she began with a soul fire shield that blocked all damage and released cursed spirits for huge area damage. But before he could finish, Shadow unleashed his instant Shadow Slash, completely destroying the boss. The system confirmed the kill, giving Shadow a massive 180,000 EXP, 92 evolution points, 87 years of tradable lifespan, 9 pieces of gear, and 4 skill books. The bald leader was stunned, screaming that Shadow had just vaporized her. He cried that when he and Lu Jianfeng had fought her, they had struggled for half an hour and couldn't even break her shield. Lu Jianfeng reminded him that if he hadn't been hiding in the back, they wouldn't have had such a hard time. The bald leader defended himself, saying he was just watching out for the sneaky thief kid. Shadow grabbed the golden lifespan orbs and the assassin gear, telling the other 2 they could split the rest before moving on. Then, a huge skeletal beast shook the dungeon. The system labeled it as the level 20 platinum boss, the Bone War Elephant Taurus. But size didn't matter to Shadow, who instantly attacked the monster with a flurry of deadly slashes. The system confirmed the kill, rewarding Shadow with 120,000 experience points, 64 evolution points, 55 years of lifespan, 6 pieces of gear, and 3 skill books. Behind him, his lazy guides dived into the dirt to collect the leftovers. From there, it was a speed run of slaughter. Shadow took down the Emerald Grade Shadow Knight Karen on the 3rd floor in a single motion. Next was the Platinum Grade Molten Giant, Bal, who got cut in half before he could even attack. The Emerald Grade Death Language Priest, Solon, tried next, only to end up as another dead body on the floor. Shadow moved like a blur. Boss after boss was completely destroyed. The Gatekeeper Ye Shen, the Poison Hand Doctor Sun Dawei, the Witch of the Ruined Kingdom Vokes, and the intellectual magic child Wu Bin were all killed in quick succession. Finally, Shadow defeated a colossal skeleton serpent, the offspring of the Bone King, Phelan, earning another large amount of experience and lifespan. Soon, the system announced he had reached level 30. Shadow was thrilled, checking his stats and celebrating. He calculated that he needed another 400,000 experience points to unlock his 4th class advancement, and figured 3 more bosses should be enough. But as he pulled up his map to find the next target, he froze. Looking at the empty radar, he realized that was the last boss on his list. Lu Jianfeng laughed, amazed that they had spent days tracking down all these bosses only for Shadow to wipe them out in under an hour. The bald leader explained that Shadow had cleared out every boss on the first 4 floors. He said that while there should be more bosses on the 5th floor, the entrance gate had been sealed shut. Shadow asked what he meant by it not opening. He decided they should go check it out themselves, and the bald leader guided them down the dark hallways. When they arrived, they saw a massive stone archway swirling with dark purple energy. The bald leader panicked, screaming that the gate was now open, even though they had tried everything to open it before. Shadow calmly figured out that the dungeon had a lock. You probably had to kill every boss on the previous 4 floors before the path to the 5th level opened. Lu Jianfeng and the bald leader realized that made sense and got excited about an overpowered boss waiting inside. Shadow said it was time to go in, but the bald leader suddenly stopped him. He confessed that he never used to believe the rumors about the legendary Shadow and listed off a bunch of over-the-top nicknames people had given him, admitting he used to laugh at them. Shadow's cheeks turned bright red, embarrassed to hear the ridiculous names. But the bald leader declared that after seeing Shadow's skills that day, he was now a true believer. The bald leader pulled out a glowing orange cube, screaming that Shadow had helped his guild progress more in 1 hour than they usually did in a month. To show his thanks, he activated a rare item, the Mandarin Duck Pot. According to the system, eating this hot pot increased all attributes by 10% until death. He proudly said this was their guild's ultimate trump card, usually saved for final boss fights. He eagerly served Shadow, telling him the beef tripe had to be boiled for exactly 30 seconds before he ate it. Shadow took a bite and was blown away by the amazing flavor. He described how the fresh ingredients cooked perfectly in the spicy broth. Watching from the side, Lu Jianfeng was furious at his rival's clever move and vowed to match him. Lu Jianfeng summoned his own legendary feast, begging Shadow to try Ju Feng Pavilion's ultimate dish, Bobo Chicken. The system confirmed this dish boosted all status resistances by 50%. Shadow tried a skewer and was instantly hooked, amazed by the numbing spicy aftertaste. Seeing Shadow enjoy both meals, the two guild leaders started arguing. Lu Jianfeng boasted that Shadow preferred his Bobo chicken, but the bald leader screamed that Shadow clearly loved the hot pot more. Shadow casually asked if they wanted to eat with him, but they ignored him and kept screaming at each other about which local food was the best.